I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Tamika Sheppard, and I am an inmate here at SCI Muncy. And I would like for you to take the time today to let my words of my life motivate you to do better. First off, I'd like to start out by saying that maybe about 80% of us have used a substance at some point in time in our lives. And I can definitely say that it is not worth it. They used to say that coke was a rich man's high and the crack cocaine was for the minorities. But they soon realized that crack didn't discriminate once it started to find its way into the suburban households. It will take some of the best of us down to our knees. It does not care about your status. It does not care about your race. And it definitely does not care about your age. And once you start, it is almost impossible to stop. Take it from me, because I know. Dig this. When I was a child and I was going to school and the teacher was asking me, hey, what would you like to be when you grow up? I didn't raise my hand and say a crackhead prostitute. I had hopes and I had dreams just like any other little girl. But they soon vanished once I tried to crack cocaine. Let me back up a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you something about my upbringing. My great-grandmother raised me from about 3 months old to 11 when she died. I was the only child with my nana. I went to school. I sat on the steps. I went to church almost every day of the week. So if I had to say so, I was raised properly. There was no abuse, physical or mental. So know that my upbringing has nothing at all to do with my drug usage. Anyway, after the death of my grandmother, my aunts took on the responsibility of raising me, and I can say they did a good job. My Aunt Winky and my Aunt Diane, they are my backbone. I love them for all that they have done for me and all that they still do for me right now to this day. I love them for it. Anyway, my mother and father died kind of early on in my life. I have one brother. I have two half-brothers. I got a cousin who was more like my sister. But I am the one that is hooked on the crack cocaine. I've been through so much in my life. I lived in abandoned houses throughout my whole last pregnancy. I even went into labor in an abandoned house. And when my water broke, I put tissue inside me because I just had to have one more. I would run around, jumping in and out of cars, selling myself to anybody that would have me, just so I could get one more. Running around while life just passed me by, because I had to have one more. And the funny thing about it was, I thought my life was just fine. I really did. I thought my life was just fine. Prostituting came naturally to me because, see, I had to eat. Because, see, if I didn't eat, that meant that the babies that I was carrying inside me, that meant that they didn't eat neither. I've been raped 2 or 3 times, even sodomized. While carrying my 2 twin girls. I had became a true crackhead. I thought I had reached a point of no return. I really did. I ask you to please, don't be like me and lose your mother, miss your mother's funeral because you somewhere getting high. Don't be like me and give birth to two beautiful twin girls, and when one of them dies, you ain't nowhere to be found because you somewhere getting high. Don't lose your parents, your grandparents, and other loved ones, and don't get a chance to even tell them how much you love them or how you feel because you somewhere getting high. You know, I used to walk around the streets cold, hungry, tired, hoping, wishing, praying that God would look down and see his child and decide to save me. And you know what? He answered my prayers. Because on 12/12/07, I was arrested. I was 83 pounds at the age of 35. I was killing myself slowly with that poison. And each and every time I'd call myself doing better or trying to do better, people, places, and things would always be my trigger. See, I could get clean because your addiction has a way of making you forget about all the pain, all the suffering, all the hurt, and all the misery that you went through. And you always want to seem to remember all the fun and all the happy times that you had, if there was any. I would always deceive myself, always. Saying, oh, I'm only going to spend this much. I'm only going to smoke this much. I'm only going to do this, buy this money. And each and every time, the end result would always, always be White and Brown's back here at Muncy. But I'm going to tell you something. When I came here, when I came to Muncy, I met people and staff members that I can say that cared about me. They honestly cared about me. Not for any sexual favors that I could do for them, because see, that's what I was used to doing out on the street. These people in here actually cared about me. People hung out with me, talked with me, gave me some things. Something to eat every now and then. Oh, yeah. And you know what else they did? They even loved me when I couldn't or I wouldn't love myself. And wow, imagine how I felt when I realized that I mattered. I was like, wow. And that is the one important thing that here in Muncy, that I learned was that Tamika mattered. You do matter. You matter, Tamika. I know problems in life may arise. Things happen in life. My message to you is that my story does not have to be your story. Drugs are not the answer. Change is possible. Things may happen, problems may arise, but you can always do the next right thing. Always do the next right thing. Hope, pray. Drugs aren't the answer. So I would like for you to take with you today the words that you have heard about my life about my life today, and let it be your reason to do your best.